And the way that he boxed against Ngannou is a massive concern.
I don't think he would have seen the Dubois fight and been like, he's not up to it. He's not up to elite heavyweight.
It's a disgrace. And you've got these guys in there, whether it's boxing or MMA or whatever. Combat sports takes years off your life.
Doesn't need more weight divisions, I'm afraid. Sorry, no.
It needs something between light heavyweight and cruiserweight.
Build me 2 rings and please bring Eminem.
Oleksandr Usyk will beat Tyson Fury.
I knew it.
Oh.
I knew it was coming. I knew it. This is such a stitch up because you've got to do your thing. Usyk will beat Tyson Fury. I think if Tyson Fury turns up in shape, at his best, he wins this fight. He wins this fight. If he doesn't, because you know Usyk will, he's going to lose the fight.
So you're banking on him turning up.
I'm not banking on anything.
Well, you've gone for disagree.
I'm not banking on anything because I'm not.
This is serious.
This cost me nothing.
This is serious.
Yeah, but if he's at his best, like I said, if he can recreate the Ngannou Tyson Fury doesn't beat Oleksandr Usyk if it's the best Oleksandr Usyk version.
Okay, does the Chisora 3 version beat him?
I mean, it's impossible to say because it was, he didn't really have to go through the gears.
We've discussed that, haven't we? We haven't seen Fury. I haven't seen a great performance from him since the second Wilder fight. The third Wilder fight's not a great performance. He almost gets knocked out twice.
Yeah, but he didn't.
No,
but,
of course, but like he didn't dominate the fight.
He's very tough, and I know. But the thing is, I think with Tyson Fury, my problem is with Tyson Fury is I've written him off so many times in the past. I thought Klitschko was going to beat him. I thought Wilder was going to. Well, I thought the draw in the first fight. I thought the second fight. I remember picking him on another pod, being like, I think Wilder could get to him this time. Just proves everyone wrong all the time. You never know what's going on in his head. Like, maybe he's in self-destruct mode right now. Like, who knows? Maybe he's not trying. Maybe he's not. Or maybe he's in the gym. Maybe he knows what he's got to do. Maybe he's so inspired that we get the best Tyson Fury we've ever seen. It's impossible to say. That's why there is caveats there.
You've gone for disagree, so I'm going to go for agree. I'm going to make the argument for Usyk. Yeah. So Usyk has really not put a foot wrong since the amateurs. European, world, Olympic gold medal, undisputed cruiserweight champion at the time of the cruiserweight division, was at its deepest. I mean, he's barely boxed at home, but home, away, whoever, whenever, wherever, all of that stuff.
All the weight that's needed.
And I think he's now got to a stage in his career, Usyk, where he's not. I think there was much made about him not being the same at heavyweight as he was at cruiserweight. He didn't have the physical at heavyweight as he did at cruiserweight. He was able to impose himself as well as all of his skills. But I do feel like the Dubois fight showed that he maybe wasn't physically at his best anymore, even at that weight. And I think we've seen with him and Lomachenko the
Dubois
long amateur career.
He's not a vast heavyweight, Dubois.
No.
You might think he is, but he's really not that big.
No.
He's not 6'9".
You really see, like, Fury.
He's not 6'7".
No. Yeah, no. It's a good point.
Kind of
you
comparable.
See, like Joe Joyce. Like Joyce is
he's
a big
boy.
man, like a real big guy. But I just think that Fury, and like you, I wrote him off so many times.
I can't do it again.
And I even said after, I think it was the third Wilder fight or whatever. Not that I thought he would lose that fight, but I've said repeatedly, I'll never write off Tyson Fury again, and here I am with agree. Mainly because he went disagree, Tyson. But anyway, I just think that we haven't seen Fury at his best. By the time that fight comes around, for 4 years.
It hasn't needed to be.
But you can't just turn it on and turn it off. But I don't think
maybe
he can.
Yeah, but maybe he can.
Then where was it against Francis Ngannou?
Yeah, well, it was. He thought, like, come on. He thought like everyone else. I spoke to him the day of the press, so Thursday, and obviously the build-up he's given it. It's a tough fight. He's a big guy. He could land. But behind closed doors, he said to us, round a round table, this guy couldn't beat with a machete or a 9mm. Like this, he's never had a fight. Like, I'm going to pulverize this. Like. He thought it was as easy as everyone else thought. But he knows Usyk's good. And this is the other thing. Calls him a sausage, calls him a small man, calls him this and that. One thing is Tyson Fury knows boxing.
Yeah, he does.
Like no one else. Go and listen to the interview on the pitch in Dusseldorf. Nobody knows heavyweight boxing like Tyson Fury. He's not looking at Usyk and going, small guy. He's not like, this guy can't. He's going, oh, fuck me. You know, Steve Cunningham, I didn't like that against this little guy. That's what he's saying. Moses Town was coming in for sparring. Jai Opatai's going in for sparring. He's going to do it correctly.
But my point is can you do that after? Look, the Chisora fight was like a testimonial. he beats that version of Dillian Whyte 101 times out of 100. I think he always beats Dillian Whyte, even when Dillian Whyte's kind of in his 2018 period of his career. The version that turned up to Wembley, having already been knocked out by Alexander Povetkin, a lot of wars, a lot of miles on the clock. That was an easy fight for Fury. It's been a long time. It's not just a case of, and I think Fury would have known, he certainly would have known that for the Derek Chisora fight, and the amount of rounds that he'd have done with Dillian Whyte in the past, and as you say, knowing heavyweight boxing and seeing the deterioration of Whyte across those hard fights. It's not just a case of, I don't think he was necessarily motivated to be the best version of himself for the Ngannou fight. Subconsciously, or what? Don't get me wrong. I think there's probably levels of preparation, and he was certainly at the bottom end of it for the Francis Ngannou fight. But I don't think he was at the Wilder level 2 for Chisora or Whyte, or even the third Wilder fight. And I think there was extenuating circumstances, particularly around the third Wilder fight. I know his wife had gone into hospital, and they had a newborn, and there was problems and stuff. So and also it was kind of the fight that it wasn't supposed to happen, and then all of a sudden it was on in 8 weeks or whatever, and he had to get ready. But he's 35 now, Fury. Like, he's put his body through an awful lot over the years.
For a long time.
And the way that he boxed against Ngannou is a massive concern. Okay, yeah, never thought you would beat him, never this, never that. He still turned up, he still got in the ring, and he still boxed the way he boxed. And that was in no way, shape or form anywhere near good enough to beat Oleksandr Usyk.
Strong agree, but that Fury's not going to turn up.
If the Fury of the third Wilder fight, but again, it's difficult. Yeah. You got like a big streaky 6'6" puncher against a real nimble.
I think he. I don't believe him when he says that Usyk's a sausage and he can't compete with him. He's too small and stuff. He knows what he's up against. I think he does. And
how do you think he approaches that fight?
I think he's going to try and walk him down. I do, and I think he's going to try and walk him down whenever he gets close to him. If he's going to try and hurt him on the way in, and then he's going to lean on him. He's going to use his size. He told us that as well. It's like, how can this man, he's 200 pound or whatever, he's obviously more than that now, but compared to him, he's a small guy. So he's going to try and walk him down like he did in the second Wilder fight, and then when he needs to, he's going to hold. He's going to make it really ugly, and he's going to try and hurt him. He's going to try and bully him and use his size. That's what I think. Now, I think he would have seen the Dubois fight and been like, he's not up to it. He's not up to elite heavyweight. He's just not. He hasn't got the frame for it. If they were both the same size, I'd pick Usyk to win, but they ain't. Same reason why he'd give Muhammad Ali trouble. It's the fucking size of it. If he turns up 9 out of 10 or above, which is a big ask, but he's got a camp to do it, and he's getting paid enough to do it. And let's not forget, he's got a rematch. So it's not like, this is my farewell, see you later. Might be. But he's got a rematch. I think he turns up, I think he wins the fight. The belts get fragmented, they still do the rematch. Then he'll retire. Or maybe he fights Joshua. But you think too many miles on the clock or too much water under the bridge?
I think it might be just the perfect storm. The main
perfect storm for Usyk as well.
The main reason is because it's a 50-50.
Yeah,
I think it's a 50-50 fight, and you've gone for disagree, so make it a bit more interesting.
Yeah, it's a beautiful fight. It's everything you want.
I do think that I always felt like the foot speed of Usyk and the fact that Usyk's an unflappable guy.
He can win. Yeah, that's it. I love him.
I just felt like that would always be enough to make it a really close fight, and I just feel that.
So you think he beats him on point? And he outpoints him? Does enough to get a decision?
Yes, for the purposes of this exercise. But yeah. I
don't see Fury getting stopped by Usyk.
No.
Can punch though. Usyk is underrated puncher. Like, look at Tony Bellew fight, for instance, and that and Daniel Dubois.
He hurt Chisora, he hurt Joshua. He stopped Dubois. I think Dubois was more exhaustion than.
But I don't think he stops Tyson Fury.
No.
And I think in a messy fight, the only way I can picture that fight, that Fury nicks it. 115, 113 sort of vibe. But I do think he walks him down. Goes for broke in that sense. Andy Lee as well. Andy Lee, perfect sort of voice in his ear. Obviously, Sugar Hill was the man, but with Andy Lee there, you know he's got that rudder, which is what he was lacking in against Steve Cunningham, for instance. And throughout the whole camp, like, it seemed like they got the setup right in Morecambe and all that sort of stuff. So if they get it right and he turns up in shape and he turns up focused, which I think he will be, because he knows it's all on the line here, people will denigrate him if he loses this fight, won't they?
Yeah,
his whole legacy's on the line.
I certainly don't think that he's going to turn up to the Usyk fight thinking it's an easy fight. I think he absolutely will turn up and be in the best version of what he is now at his career. But I don't think that version is what we saw in February of 2020.
Maybe.
But also, I don't think that Usyk's the same fighter that he's been, even in the second Joshua fight. I think there was a slight difference to him from the second Joshua fight and the Daniel Dubois fight. I didn't think he was a low blow or anything like that. No. But Dubois had little pockets of success, and he didn't quite have as much, I wouldn't necessarily call it explosiveness, but elasticity to his kind of physical that he used to have. But yeah, it's a 50-50 fight. But I'll go with Usyk because you've gone with Fury.